Hey guys, today we're setting some goals. I'm gonna get you ready for 2023, and that's what's happening. Look, 2023 is a year of transformation. I know that it's a year of transformation. Don't ask me how I know, I just do. And you are part of that. Anybody who's watching this kind of stuff, you're part of it. You know? So what's a transformation? Let me just explain, because we're going to get into goal setting in a minute. But I want to explain a transformation. A lot of people think a transformation is losing a bunch of weight, or making a bunch of money, or moving to that new place, or new me. I'm just like a new me. What a transformation really is you're letting go of everything that no longer serves you. So that is 2023 in a nutshell. I don't know if you've noticed, but the old habits that used to bring us so much comfort and joy, they're just not hitting the same. Am I right? Am I right? So that's what 2023 is all about, is finally letting go of all the things that no longer serve us. And I'm going to help you with this process. Goals are a very powerful way to transform. You're going to get yourself a binder. And I like to use these binders. I've also used these in the past, and these work great too. And I always got tons of these, and I use these for all different kinds of things. So one of these binders, I got this off Amazon. You can get this at Office Max. I like these because they have pockets everywhere. And you know, who doesn't love an extra pocket? These pockets serve as, when I'm done with my sheets, I put them in here. Okay, so get yourself a binder, fill it with some paper or my Dream Life Planner, which I put below. And get yourself some dividers. These I like, but you could also use something like these little mini Post-its right at the edge of the Post-it. That's gonna serve as a great binder divider. You could also use little flags, whatever you want. We're just needing to divide this up. So what are we gonna put in here? We're gonna put life vision, that life vision section in the beginning, this month, this week, today, and for God. And I've done a video like this in the past, but there's some things I'd like to add to that. So those are the sections we're gonna put in. Life vision, this month, this week, today, and for God. I'm gonna go over those in a minute, but I wanna just bring you and break down a quick model for my goal setting, for kind of how I operate, my MO. So a lot of people set goals as an end point. Like, I want to make more money, and that's their end point. I want to lose 100 pounds, and that's the end point. So that will serve as an end point to making me, you know, happy or complete or fulfilled or whatever. And there was a time in my early 20s when that was how I did things. A little bit. But here's what I found works way better. So I have this visual that I think is going to help you a lot. I'm going to call this the wholeness model of setting goals. So you're a mind, you're a body, you're a spirit, and at the center point of your being, this is all of us, each of us, every single one of us. Mind, body, and spirit. No getting around it. But then at the center point, we got this beautiful diamond. I'm going to color it like an indigo color. Okay? So what is that? That is God. Not religious. I'm not religious. I know the word God can ruffle some feathers, but we can call it your subconscious mind. We could call it Mother Nature. We could call it Buddha nature. We could call it Christ consciousness. We could call it Krishna. We could call it whatever you want to call it. Brahman, the Atman, the all that isness. This is the center of your being. Now, we're going to get to goals in a minute, but this is really important. This is a key, okay? Before you go setting goals, like to fix some things, I want you to just consider that there's a center point of your being. And what if there's a center point in your being? What if the center of you is God? is perfect, is whole, is that eternal aspect of you that cannot be touched by anything happening in the world. This is something that I live my life by. So, and this isn't a concept thing. This is something that you can actually experience firsthand if you do enough meditation. I talked about my 30-day mental, or no, I talked about my 2-year mental diet and the 30-day mental challenge, which I'll put in the link below. I'll add that to that list. That is how you experience firsthand that eternal, perfect, whole aspect of you. So that is the end, and that is the means, and that is the point, and that is the purpose. That is the ultimate purpose, is living in connection with that which you are, God, presence, perfect. We could call it love, truth, whatever you want to call it. Those are all great synonyms for that. And so this is the end. This is the means. And this is why we're setting goals. We're not setting goals to fix something. We're setting goals, or I invite you to set goals for this purpose, so that you're living from that place, so that you're expressing that which you are, so that you're feeling firsthand that harmony in your life, so that you know it experientially. Okay, so that's just kind of my MO. And that way we're setting goals that are really inspiring us, that are from that place of love. We can get tripped up if we're setting goals to fix a bunch of problems. Like that we don't want to do. We don't want to set goals to fix a bunch of problems from a place of lack or from a misconception that there's something wrong with us. That can be stressful, because then those goals are just following you around the whole year, and then honestly those aren't motivating goals. And then even if you do get them, it's just you don't enjoy them because they're from a place of lack. So keep your eye on the prize, my friend. That is your center point. And whether you're setting goals or not, if this is the end and this is the means, then you're untouchable. There's no losing in this game. All right, so let's get to the details now. So we're gonna get to the first part, and that's life vision. So your life vision section, I'm gonna show you an example of a life vision section. This is my own life vision section, but the life vision section is a broad, sweeping kind of what you want your life to embody. The very first thing I put is my life purpose. My ultimate life purpose is that center point that I just showed you. That's my ultimate life purpose. And it can't be named. We can call it God. That's my ultimate life purpose. But in expression of and in devotion to that ultimate purpose, my life purpose is to help others feel the presence of God within themselves, not religious, just spiritual, and to help them live from that connection. So that's my life purpose. That's what my heart wants. Bring up your own life purpose, write your own life purpose statement. There's no wrong answer to this. It may change. It's possible that it will change. It doesn't really matter, but open up your heart and listen to your heart, not your mind. And then I draw something. I'm not a great drawer, but it doesn't matter, because this process is not about getting it right. The whole goal setting process, it's not about getting it right. You're just meeting your spirit and your heart and your soul, and you're saying you're asking, what is it that wants to be expressed through me? That's the process of goal setting that's really powerful. And so this is a little picture that I drew alongside to kind of embody and express this statement. And for me, that's love. So I drew a heart, and I just want to give as much love as I can to the world, to the universe. I drew some elements that mean a lot to me. the elements that kind of embody what I'm aiming for. So there's water because there's flow, and there's aspects of nature because of that grounding aspect. There's a tree. Trees are very grounded and rooted, and there's lots of different colors. All these colors have a meaning for me. There's a butterfly there, and that has a lot of meaning for me. The sun and the moon, those aspects of the yin and the yang, and the balance and the harmony. And so you could do something like this, or you could make a collage. You could pick up scraps from nature, little flower petals. You could make a collage from pictures that you see online. You could grab a magazine and make a little vision board. Whatever floats your boat. Make some watercolors. You could just do right in the vision statement, the broad life vision statement. Then next step is your big goal list. This is just getting everything out of your mind onto paper. I have, from last year, I got 37. I got 37 goals that I wrote down. Now, these aren't the goals that I pursued last year. These are just goals when you're getting to your goal setting session. You just got to get everything out of your brain and see, okay, what is everything that's in there? What wants to come out? And write that down. Then you see which one of those has the most energy. And you pick five goals that you're going to focus on for 2023. How do you pick from a list of, like, you might have like 100 things, you might have 20 things, you might have 10 things, whatever. How do you pick? You pick the ones that have the most crackle, the most electricity, the most energy. And this is not a brain thing. This is a heart thing. This is also a God thing. So you're going to check in with the all that isness, and you're going to let this aspect of you decide the 5 goals that you focus on. And full disclosure, I set goals every year, and every year I attain most of them. However, there's usually 1 or 2 that drop off, that I either lose juice with, that just aren't fitting anymore, that I just don't like, or that just, it's not the right time. And I'm malleable with this whole process. I'm never fixed, and I'm never attached to one particular outcome or one particular goal. That's very important too. So set your 5 goals and you write them down. And I'm going to give you some ways to write this down. So you write it in the present tense. Okay, that's one thing. Always in the present tense, always in positive language. So we always want to focus on what we do want, never on the negative language. So for example, you would say, I want to have a healthy and vibrant body, and I want to be able to do the splits with ease. That's one of my goals. I would like to do the front splits. And so I would do that instead of saying something like, I don't want to be stiff anymore. You know, you focus on what you do want. Also, allow. So I allow, I receive, I open to. Those words are very powerful. Also, I give, I offer. That's a powerful phrase too. So the giving, the receiving, the allowing, and the opening. Those terms are very, very effective for the mindset and for programming your brain for getting what you want. Then we go to the month. The month page, basically what I do with the month page is I just write out the month at the top. So it doesn't matter what month it is. For example, this one's April. So April. And then I write out an intention statement at the beginning of each month. I don't use the month tab to write out a bunch of appointments, and I don't use the month tab to write out a bunch of plans, but you certainly could. I'm not much of a planner. I don't do much for, day by day appointment keeping and all that stuff. That's not what this notebook is necessarily for, though you could use it. I like to just keep it the things that really matter. So I use it for the big, broad, sweeping goals, the intentions, what really matter to me. And so that's how I use the month tab, is a big intention statement. So whatever that might be, it could be like, this month I intend to give as much love as I can to the world, and I'm going to do it with this, and this. Or this month I intend to maintain an organized environment so that I can feel peaceful inside, or whatever it is. Intention statements basically they're like goal statements, but they've got a little bit more power to them. Your intention, the power of your intention is like very, it's very powerful. Intent is a very powerful energy to use. Okay, and then the next thing is today. And the today tab, I read those 5 goals that I put in the beginning of the notebook, and I decide every night. I do this every night. I read my goals, and then I choose what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. What's a priority? This way, I'm not beholden to all the pendulums that life has to offer. There's pendulums swinging around everywhere. And there's, you know, my small self, my ego wants to write down a bunch of BS. My ego wants to write down, okay, we got to return this thing to Amazon. We got to clean the house, and we got to blah, 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 and all these things that don't really matter. You know, a big, long to-do list. We're not using the Today tab for our to-do list. We're using the Today tab for things that matter. So you read your goals, and then you flip open you have to read your goals every day. I mean, you don't have to, but it's a really great place to plan your day in the evenings. And you could also plan them in the mornings, but just read your goals. And then when you flip into your Today tab, I'm using this marker because it's bright enough, big enough, bold enough for you to see. So let's see, it's the 27th today. Let's pretend like it's nighttime. And I read my 5 goals. And my 5 goals are something like, it doesn't matter what my 5 goals are, but I read my 5 goals. And then from there, I write out, let's say one of my goals is, I've got a total transformation program coming up. Nope, this is not a plug. I got a total transformation program. That's my new program that's mind, body, and spirit focused. And it's big, and I'm so excited about it. And one of my goals is I want to be able to give this to as many people as possible. I don't put an exact number down because that's not up to me. That's up to the powers that be. But I want to get this into as many hands as possible. So I make my first goal. That's my number 1 priority. And then my first goal, my first order of the day is going to be create for the total transformation. Create for total transformation. That's my number 1 priority. I'm going to be doing that. And then everything after that, that's my number 1 big frog. Then everything after that is, I kind of go by the list. Okay, and then what's next? I'm definitely going to have I mentioned the splits. That's not like number 1 on my list, but let's say it was. Let's say that was a top 5. Then I've got splits training. I'm going to squeeze that in here somewhere. And so on and so forth. Then at the bottom, I save the bottom portion for the stuff that doesn't matter, but that's still kind of in my brain. I use that bottom portion to kind of get rid of all those little things that don't matter. So I will put like return or whatever, return Amazon stuff. And then I also will write down little like make appointments. Okay, I'll write down anything that doesn't matter at that point, and then I'll get to those at the end of my day if I finished all this stuff. Okay, and that's how you do the Today tab. And then the last tab I want to talk about is the God tab, the For God tab. So this tab, it says For God right here. So this tab is you write out anything that you need help with, anything at all. And I'm talking big, small, scary, insignificant, whatever you need help with. God has your back. God's got you covered. This works. It just does. I've got pages and pages and piles and like these are just a few notebooks from the past. And this is hardly anything. I've got closets full of notebooks, and these are all just big old God tabs. And there's not one of these that has something that I've made a direct, sincere, open-hearted request for that wasn't answered in some way. And the ones that weren't answered directly, like things I didn't end up getting, were a blessing. And that's because that's just how this works. That thing that's pumping your heart, God, pumping your heart free of charge. You get air, you're alive, you get to experience this world. There's just so much evidence. And I'm not sitting here trying to convince you. I'm saying that thing that's giving the trees and the soil and the animals and you and I all of this beautiful sustenance, that thing has it covered. Whatever your little issue is, you just write it down, and it has it covered. So that, my friends, is a little mini goal setting session. I hope that you get to getting your goals written down, get to writing your goals down, and hopefully one of your goals is to complete all the months of my Total Transformation, which is free on YouTube, and join in my Total Transformation program in February when it comes out. So pre-enroll, you can pre-enroll in the link below, and that's going to give you a big discount for when I do release it. I'm so excited. This is going to be a mashup of, everything I love, mind, body, spirit practices. I think you're going to love it too. So pre-enroll if you'd like to, if that's something that interests you. I'm so excited for 2023 and for all of our transformations. 2023 is going to be epic. Yeah, and I hope this helped. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye.